What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. Well, the WBA has ruled that they will not sanction the Brook and Gennady Golovkin fight that's coming up in the next week or so. So, yeah, it's not that much of a surprise because when this fight got announced, the WBA had immediately came out and said that they will not sanction this fight due to the fact that, one, Brook does not fight at middleweight. Two, they were not told in advance that Brook would be considered as an opponent for Golovkin and his team. So, according to Gilberto Mendoza, the WBA's president, he said here the championships committee and the presidency have not agreed to sanction this bout as a title fight because, as I mentioned, Brook has never fought as a middleweight. All right. Now, this actually came out at the time of the fight was announced in July. All right. Now, the intent of this organization is to try to protect the integrity and the health of the fighters. Though we do not oppose the fight per se, but the rules of the organization stipulates that Golovkin and or his representatives must request a special permission in advance to fight Brook. So, apparently, Golovkin and his team filed for that special request on July 22nd. And the committee had acknowledged it and they reviewed it in full detail. So the decision has been made yesterday. It's come to the fact that they will not allow this fight to be sanctioned for the title. Now, what does that mean? Now, some of you are going to say, well, okay, that means that only the WBC and the IBF titles will be on the line. Okay, that's fair. That those titles are going to be on the line. Now, let's say that Golovkin does lose. You know, he would keep his title. No, that's not correct. What's going to happen is that if Brook does win, and I don't see how he can win this fight, I think he'll make it competitive. If he does win, not only that Brook becomes the IBF and the WBC champion, he will not win that title, the WBA titles, due to the fact that it's not being sanctioned. Golovkin, on the other hand, will have that title stripped from him. It becomes vacant. Wow. So, yeah. Once again, let me repeat myself. So, if Golovkin loses this fight against Brook, not only that he loses the WBC and the IBF title, he won't be able to keep his WBA title. He'll have it stripped from him. So, yeah, this will be very, very interesting and a big shakeup in the middleweight division if that happens. Okay, now, why did the WBA didn't sanction this fight? Of course, part of the reason is due to the fact that Brook it doesn't fight in middleweight, and number two, they weren't told in advance about Brook being a liable, being an opponent in advance. Okay, that's what they said. But could it be that when Golovkin and his team sent in the special request, could have been that the WBA asked for a sanctioning fee that was way higher than normal and that Golovkin and his team refused to pay? Could it be that? I don't know. But it's all speculation at this point. So another thing I got to comment on is that Golovkin and his team are already looking past Brook. And I know Hatman had did a video about this, and I tend to agree with him on this. Because when a fighter does things like that, when they look past their opponent, they are talking about other opponents before the fight even starts with their with the opponent that's ahead of them. That becomes very dangerous because we've seen that happen before when Mike Tyson did that to Buster Douglas, and we saw the end result of that fight. And we've seen where Vernon Forrest did that to Ricardo Mayorga. He completely ignored Mayorga, looked past him, and then he got upset and got knocked out in that fight. We've seen this done where Edson Miranda, who was a favorite to beat Kelly Pavlik at that point, he was looking past Pavlik and was focused on Jermaine Taylor before he fought Pavlik. Okay? And we've seen this happen where Shane Mosley, he kind of looked past Winky Wright because he was focused on trying to get that Felix Trinidad fight, which actually they were agreed to fight if he got past Winky Wright, but that didn't happen. And Riddick Bowe, when he looked past Andrew Golota, because he was so focused on trying to get fights with Tyson and, rematches with Holyfield and all the other upcoming heavyweights like Briggs and whatnot. But we saw that Andrew Golota pretty much ended Riddick's Bowe career, even though he didn't win those those two bouts. But yeah, this Golovkin and his team need to take this a little bit more seriously. I'm not saying they're not taking the Kell Brook fight seriously. I'm just saying that since they already talking about other opponents past Brook before they even had climbed in the ring with Brook, I just think this is danger zone for them, and I think they just need to just not worry about Canelo, not worry about Saunders at this point, not worry about the other middleweights. Just focus on the task at hand, and then talk about Canelo, and then talk about Brooks, and talk about the other middleweights like Jacobs and Quillen, whoever it may be. Yeah, given the fact that their WBA title is not going to be sanctioned, and if they do lose, they won't be able to keep that title. So, yeah, this is very interesting news. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Could it be that the WBA haven't received the sanctioning fees that they required due to the fact that they rejected the special request to sanction the fight, or could it be other factors that I haven't pointed out in this video? Just let me know what your thoughts are. I'll post a link to the article. Care to comment, share, subscribe. Signing off. Peace.